2013 წლის ივნისში წინასწარი კონსულტაციებისა და ანალიზის გარეშე საქართველოს მთავრობამ უცხოელებს მიწის ყიდვა და მემკვიდრეობით მიღება 2014 წლის დეკემბრამდე აუკრძალა. საქმიანობის გაფართოება შეეზღუდათ ისეთ კომპანიებსაც, რომლებსაც მეტწილად ქართველი მფლობელები და მხოლოდ ერთი უცხოელი მეწილი ყავთ, როგორიცაა მაგალითად Chateau Mukhrani. ამჟამად უცხოელები მთლიანად ან ნაწილობრივ ფლობენ სასოფლო-სამეურნეო დანიშნულების დაახლოებით 19,000 ჰექტარ მიწას, რაც მთელი ქვეყნის მასშტაბით 0,7% შეადგენს. ეს მონაცემი ცხადყოფს, რომ შეზღუდვის დაწესება წინ დაუხედავი გადაწყვეტილება იყო. საერთაშორისო გამჭვირვალობა საქართველოს სამეურნეო საქმიანობაზე ქვეყნის ორი მსხვილი პროექტის ავტორს ესაუბრა.
Chateau Mukhrani is very close to where the original pips are coming from, those famous ones proving that Georgia was the cradle of wine and that wine was started to be cultivated between 6,000 and 8,000 years ago. The chateau was built by Ivan Mukhrabatoni of the Bagration family. He couldn't understand why Georgia couldn't produce or be more known on an international level, so he decided to go for a year to France. 150 years later, we're trying to do the same thing as he did. Everyone knew that you could get a great wine from Georgia, but most people were a little bit worried that one day you get a great bottle of wine and next day you buy the same and it's not up to the same standard. So consistency must be linked to quality.
By experience, I would say, this 11 years in Bordeaux, I saw that a lot of foreign investors came into Bordeaux to renew ideas, to bring new investments, to have the philosophy to have a return on investment or to reinvest, to make it alive. And I think here is the same idea that we have now investors coming here to bring something to Georgia, to give something to Georgia, and this is a very important item to renew Georgian wine industry, I think.
We planted our first vines in 2003 and the subsequent years, their first harvest in 2007, and we're still not at full production because our vineyards are still growing. At the moment we are producing between 500,000 and 600,000 bottles. In 2 to 3 years, when our vineyards are coming to full production, we should get close to 900,000 bottles a year. We employ around 50 people. Full-time. This is several hundred during harvest period. We're very happy about that because it gives us a chance to link up with the village. We always try to get people from the village first. I can understand they are a little bit worried. They don't know if they can use our ground, if we're going to start destroying anything. But now, after 10 years, I think it's a mutual, very good relationship. Our total investment is getting close to 10 million euros. What we're doing here is only the start of a much larger project where we want to do things like a hotel and a golf club and a country club. Of course, we have not been able to really take that any further because of this law. For our company in Cacheti, it's much more delicate. We're employing many more people than here, and we have a much larger production. But there we have been having to put everything on hold at the moment. I would expect the law of June 2013 to change. It has to, in my mind, because it only hurts Georgia. Obviously, it hurts us, but therefore it also hurts the country because it limits our possibility of expanding, of investing in the country, and of hiring people. I'm trying to look upon it objectively, but I cannot see how they can not change it. This would just be blocking several hundred of only in our case, hundreds of employment possibilities, a lot of investment in the country, etc., etc. So for me it doesn't make sense. So I cannot believe that it would remain.
მუშაობ, რაც Chateau Mukhranis კომპანია დაარსდა, იმ დღიდან პირველი სეზონიდან აქ კომპანიაში ვარ და კომპანია მომწონს, ამსახურიც მომწონს. უკმაყოფილო არა ვარ. კაი ხალხია და კაი გუნდია და რა ვიცი, იმედია გავაგრძელებთ მუშაობას.
They have to have some clear goals as to what kind of investor do they want? Maybe it's based on what they are doing, or how they are doing it, or who they are, or where the money is coming from. But it cannot just be one rule that is blocking everything, because then they are just destroying these possibilities. Companies need to grow to be able to compete with foreign competitors, or the associations need to get increased muscles, taking advantage from economics of scale. I just wish that this agricultural law that they would quickly realize that it's very counterproductive and not the right way forward.
Right now we are at our ranch, TR Company Ranch, which is located in Sagarejo, Yurmaganlo, in Kakheti. The territory is nearly 7,000 hectares, up to 7,000 hectares. The land was bought on an auction in 2011, in December, and the day we bought it, almost in 1 month we started working on the land. We have invested already almost more than $20 million. Currently we're employing 600 people, and most of them are locals, and Georgians as well, of course, and we're planning to expand in the future as the company grows. I think for the future, for 5 years, we will grow up to 10,000 employees. We have corn, wheat, barley, soya, and also we are planning to expand it, so we have a small amount of pistachios as well. We are planning to install factories. It will be nearly 10 factories, what we have planned, and also greenhouses as well. Mostly we're thinking of feeding mill, dairy products. Nearly 3,000 hectares of our land is irrigated by the pivot system. Also we use the shotguns. We also renovated the canal, and the water is supplied by the river, and that's nearly 4,500 hectares is irrigated this way. Before, as you know, the land was absolutely useless. It hasn't been used for more than 20 years. We filled the budget by paying the land payments, so that's also, I think, an important point. It filled up a big gap that hasn't been paid for over decades. He likes the country. He considers that it has big potential, it has good climate, good soil, and he's trying to do this everything for Georgia itself. So he is putting all of his efforts. All the people, they're working 24/7 without any kind of rest. I really wish that much more people knew about the project itself. If this ban was previously like such kind of project, like for example this one, it wouldn't be. It would be good if they take off this ban, since there are lots of, I know, other investing companies that help our country, and eventually all these investments are for Georgia. It helps the people, it helps the country to develop technically by knowledge. There's lots of opportunities that investors can bring.
2014 წლის დეკემბერში, როცა ამ შეზღუდვას ვადა მოეწურება, მთავრობის მიერ შექმნილი კომიტეტი ამუშავდება. ეს კომიტეტი ცალ-ცალკე განიხილავს უცხოელების მიერ სასოფლო-სამეურნეო დანიშნულების მიწის შესყიდვის თითოეულ შემთხვევას. საერთაშორისო გამჭვირვალობა საქართველოს მიიჩნევს, რომ მსგავსი კომისიის არსებობა შეიძლება რისკის შემცველი, ბიუროკრატიული და კორუფციისადმი მყიფე იყოს. ამჟამად არსებული გარემოს დაცვასთან დაკავშირებული კანონები და სავიზო კონტროლი ისედაც წარმოადგენს კონტროლს მიწის გამოყენებაზე. მოვუწოდებთ მთავრობას უარი თქვას ზედმეტ შეზღუდვებზე და ყურადღება გადაიტანოს მაღალი კვალიფიკაციის ინვესტორების მოზიდვაზე, რაც ქვეყანაში გაზრდის დასაქმებას და განავითარებს სოფლის მეურნეობას.